Strong opiate medications like oxycodone, which are prescribed for patients with severe pain, are now becoming the drug of choice for many Oklahoma addicts, especially for young people who may have access to it in their own homes.
What a lot of families don't understand is that their kids have complete total access to the drug. If you go get your wisdom teeth pulled, they'll give an 18-year-old, 19-year-old hydrocodone or OxyContin or oxycodone. If you have an elderly parent living with you who has a terminal illness or severe illness, who requires pain medication, it's in the medicine cabinet. It's free and easy to get too for a lot of kids.
Holly Conklin and her fiancé Tom Widman, both former drug addicts, are now in business to rescue young people from the grips of addiction. They are interventionists and are hired by families to get their loved ones into treatment. Both say those addicted to painkillers have few options.
They're either going to go to prison, die, or they're going to get into a treatment program that's actually going to work.
23-year-old Ike Edwards was headed to prison right before he got into a treatment program. He grew up a good kid. Ike was an admired athlete in his hometown of Sallisaw.
I had a lot of injuries and broken bones, dislocated elbow, shoulder surgery, stuff like that. And I was constantly on and off of painkillers for the majority of my high school life.
After high school and the end of his athletic career, he says he quickly turned into a different person.
I was taking anywhere to 10 to 20, 30 milligram painkillers a day, Percocets or oxycodone, which is a ridiculously high amount. Now that would be anywhere from a $300 to $450 habit a day.
Ike says he turned to criminal activity to pay for his habit.
Selling drugs, and then it finally escalated to the manufacturing of counterfeit money to buy drugs.
I think young kids realize that when they start taking this medication as opposed to doing illicit drugs, it's much safer. In reality, it's not.
Tulsa police officer Joe Go is a drug diversion investigator.
Oxycodone right now is probably the one I'm seeing the most on the street because it's really valuable on the street. Not only are people getting addicted to it, but they can also make a good profit selling oxycodone.
He says one 30-milligram oxycodone pill can cost $30, so paying to feed an addiction can run anywhere from a few $100s to thousands a day.
I've had people take anywhere from 20 to 30 a day, all the way up to almost 100 a day of pills, and you would think that it would kill them, but they build up this tolerance. And really typically what I see is people just getting extremely addicted to it, and once they become addicted to it, an opiate-based medication is really hard to get off of.
The withdrawal symptoms are so severe. It's like having the worst flu of your life. You have diarrhea, you vomit, you have a fever, you have the chills, your bones ache, you feel like your legs are going to break. And they call the withdrawal kicking because you just kick your legs the whole time. It's very, very painful. So in order to avoid that, they continue to use, and they continue to find them wherever they can, which includes robbing your family or robbing a pharmacy or buying them on the streets and putting yourself in danger and becoming involved in a group of people that you would never be involved with.
You start getting people around you high because of the money that they have, and you know that they're going to start spending the money with you, if that makes sense. So you can get a pill or two from them, and then they burn out. They're no use to you anymore, and you just move on to the next.
And they can get it in a variety of ways. They can doctor shop, they can get it by fraudulent prescriptions, forged prescriptions. They can get it to going to different ERs, trying to get the medication.
Officer Go says forged prescriptions are a big problem. He says stealing a doctor's prescription pad is one place an addict might start, but Go says it's even easier than that.
Prescriptions that they can just print out right on the computer, and it's just it's been I would say rampant right now.
Go spends a lot of time on the road visiting the more than 90 drugstores in his jurisdiction. He's on a first-name basis with most of the pharmacists.
Hey, Steven. Doing good.
Pharmacists like Steve Strong now find themselves with more responsibilities than filling prescriptions and helping run a business. They must also be investigators while working to detect forged prescriptions.
I look at the way the prescription is written. These guys are getting very, very good at what they do on forging prescriptions. They're buying the imprinted paper online, looking up doctors' logos, and then forging the doctor's name. They know what they're doing. The writers of the prescriptions know how to write them and what they're doing. So a lot of times, yeah, they're going to slip through.
All pharmacies have surveillance cameras, and those do a lot to shore up cases that Officer Go investigates. On his computer, he has video of scores of people passing fraudulent prescriptions. Some of them he has arrested more than once. One is 23-year-old Emily Rose Linville.
Her family, it's the worst I've ever seen. The mom has been to prison. The sister's been to prison. She will probably go to prison now for these. It was the worst family I've ever seen. They all enabled each other.
Officer Go even has a voice recording of Emily made when she called a pharmacy to make a fake prescription request.
Hi, this is Jessica with Dr. Ernest Lewis' office, and I need to call in a refill. It's going to be for Blake Linville. That's L-I-N, V as in Victor, I-L-L-E. Date of birth is 5/17 of 1995, and it's going to be for the Norco 10/325 milligrams, quantity of 90 with 0 refills.
Holly and Tom say most of the young addicts they deal with are very smart and that many come from affluent homes.
They're living in homes where they have access to tons of jewelry, heirloom jewelry, silver, electronics, and they very slowly start to take this thing or that thing. The gold and silver exchanges in Tulsa will take a gold medallion from a 19-year-old and never wonder where that 19-year-old got that gold medallion.
Both believe the only successful intervention means long-term rehabilitation, 4 months or more.
When we talk about treatment programs that cost between, $15,000 and $45,000 for effective treatment, and people think that's a ridiculously large amount.
But Tom says paying for the consequences of an addict's behavior can cost a lot more than that.
I don't know if too many have ever had to deal with the attorney costs for a felony conviction. It can get expensive really quick, and it can quickly outstrip the cost of a good treatment program.
Ike did get long-term treatment and has been clean for almost 3 years now.
Knowing I don't have to have a pill to get out of bed every day or how to hunt down the money for that day, or mainly just not having to burn people every day to survive is a beautiful thing.